So we just got software update 11.1. We had 11.6 up until now. So I'm heading out here. This is my first drive to go see what exactly happened, if there's anything different in this update. So right now I'm at a stop sign. I'm pressing the, so I just let the car stop on its own. It's pretty much doing everything here. It says please take over. Now if I hit the accelerator, it's gonna go forward, okay? So, and then it's gonna keep going, see, and then it tells me to take control right there. So that's something to be aware of. If you were at a stop sign, and it's not like a stoplight where it won't go forward. A stop sign will go forward if you do hit the accelerator while you're stopped. So just be very careful while you're sitting there that when you press the accelerator that you actually want to be going forward. Just a little bit of a warning there. It surprised a few people that I've been told about, and it's really cool. You just got to know how to run it, how it works. So anyway, welcome back to this drive. Now we're going out to see if there's anything noticeably different. Like I said, there was nothing in the notes with this update, so there's nothing that should be too crazy big. We're looking for little small things that might jump out at us. So I'm going to keep it in autopilot as much as possible so that we can continue to use the stop sign, stoplight recognition, and stopping, getting used to that as much as possible. Stopping for light in 500 feet. You know, it's one of those things that you kind of already do what it's doing right now. Like you already stop at a light and you already have to hit the accelerator to go. I guess it's stopping for you. That's something. But I mean, look at the people walking by there. Look at how well it's identifying those people. See, that's something that in the updates that have come recently that has gotten a lot better is people recognition. And I know I made a comment on one of the last drives that was, you know, why doesn't it show crosswalks? And y'all were like, oh, what do you need to see a crosswalk for? You need to see people on the crosswalk. So you are 100% right. I don't know why I got hung up on the crosswalk thing, but that is good that it is showing people now a lot better, in my opinion. I think it is. Let me know if you guys noticed it better. That was interesting. Did it just tell me the light turned green? Look at that person over there identified as well. Interesting. Okay, we got to experiment now because it looked like it told me that it was green, that light when it turned green. That would be super cool because something did pop up. I could, I guess, look at the cameras. You guys could probably rewind and see it right now, but I'm going to go find me a red light and see what it does. By the way, I skipped all the updates between 0.6 to 11.1 like I have now. So if you guys are sitting there and you're hung up on the 11.6 and you're like, well, what's going on? Like, how come there's so many updates ahead of mine? That was weird. Why did it just stop me? Oh, what? Did you guys see that? That right there saw the flashing light sign of the school. It wasn't on at the moment, but it saw it. And it gave me a stop line, like it wanted to slow down for it, because it's a school slow down zone. Ah, that is interesting. It shouldn't have done that because it's not something you have to stop for. I had to hit the accelerator to get through it. But interesting, I'll have to rewatch the tape on that. That is cool. But like I was saying, if you're on the 0.6 and you're wondering, man, I'm like 3 behind, chances are, if not today, in the very near future, you're going to skip all those to the most recent ones. So just be patient. It's probably coming. All right, so we're coming back up on a light here. So in just a few seconds, it should be identifying that there's a light coming up. And I'm really hoping it turns red because I want to see if it knows when it turns green. Okay, it is red. Okay, stopping for traffic in 500 feet. All right, perfect. Let's get right stopped here. Look at all them nice, beautiful cones. All right, here we go. So we're stopped. I want to see what this thing says when it turns green. Stopping for traffic in 25 feet. Okay, it just said stopping again. So it keeps doing that. I think it must be because the car in front is moving forward and I still have a little bit more to go until I get to that stoplight. So it's not telling me it's turning green. It's just the same thing as I got closer to the light because the car stopped me, not the actual stoplight. Got it. So now we're about to head through this intersection that we have gone through 10, 15 times now. And we keep testing it out on the exact same intersection because, it's a tricky one. And it looks like we're going to be stopped here because of the red light. So, that's kind of interesting because actually I already told it back at 500 feet to go ahead and go and not stop at this light. And then when it turned red, it had me stop again. I didn't know it did that. Did you guys know it did that? Of course, this is the first time, so I haven't verified it. But that is interesting. So what you can see is going on right now on my screen. Look at how shaky those blue lines are. And that's because it's looking at this curved intersection where there's no lines in the intersection, again, and it curves. So we're going to have to see just what it does here. As soon as it turns green, I'm going to hit the accelerator. Now let's see what it does to get through this. Oh my word. That was perfect. That was the first time of all of the times we have done this. That was the first time it has ever gone through there without trying to jump or swerve a little bit in a scary way into the other lane. So here's what's interesting that you can kind of tell is that it can't see this light around the corner. This is just proof that it just knows there is a light here because of the mapping. And so you saw the car actually stopped and said, 500 feet there's going to be a light way before the car could see the light. So that's just, again, that's not that you guys don't already know that, but it just kind of reconfirms that the lighting, it may be using the cameras to see them and all that as well, but it definitely is doing it off where they're assigned on the map because, like I said, it was a blind corner and it was still calling it 500 feet, which is a good thing, by the way. That's not a bad thing. Here's the thing with it is that I found that it just never misses a light. Like before, when we first started like the stop sign recognition, and I went out there and I tried to run through about 30 stop signs, like only 2 of them it even recognized. Well, right now I have never yet had it miss a stop sign. Every single one of them it's noticed. Every single street light it's noticed. So it's doing great on recognition. So in terms of like the car being able to pick them out, use them off the maps, everything combined, it's doing great on that. And as they build on that, it's just going to get better. I'm hoping. I can only assume. So obviously we have to do a roundabout check because everybody asks about it. So we're heading to a roundabout right now, right beside the Maple Valley Library. So here we go, heading into the roundabout. We are following another car, so we do have that going for us. So let's see how she goes. We see the car turning there. I'm gonna accelerate. Nope. I have a feeling that before we ever actually get to go through a roundabout in autopilot, we're gonna have it written on our screen in the notes for the update. That just seems like such a challenging feat that they would have overcome that I can't imagine that they would, just sort of throw that in there. So it doesn't surprise me when I do this every time and it doesn't work. Last time I drove it for about an hour after the 0.6 update, 11.6. It was great. It's been some of the funnest driving that I've ever had in a long time. Again, with these recent updates, I think it's just made such big improvements. What I'm, again, looking today is to see, is it smoother? Does it handle the exact same? Like, what have they actually fixed in the car? I'm not diving too deep into the software side of it. I have flicked through everything to see if there's anything different that stood out, and I haven't been able to identify anything. But really, on this video, I'm just looking to see on the driving standpoint, do I notice anything that stands out there? And from what I'm seeing so far, it's still good, just like it was on the last round. So, because I know if I don't say this, someone else is going to point it out. The reason why, when you're on a street like I'm on now, where your cars are going like this back and forth to each other, why I can't go over the speed limit is because the way that the Teslas are designed and programmed is, unless there's actual a divider in the street, it could be a big concrete barrier, it could be a big grass strip, something dividing totally separate pieces of road or strips of road, you can't accelerate faster than the speed limit. But if there was a ditch between the 2 lanes of traffic, ongoing and my lane, and coming towards me, then you would be able to go faster right now. So that's really the reason. So most of your city streets, most of all that, you're going to be pretty much stuck right to what speed limit is. And like now, speed limit went up, so I just flipped the little knob right here. It speeds it up, and there it goes. It gets right up to the speed limit. Now you can see it won't go any faster. It's going to stop right there. It's going to tell me it's limited to, restricted to 45 miles per hour. So, by the way, if you don't know how to turn this on in your car, you have to do it per your profile. So if you're under your profile, you need to go in here to custom navigation, or to autopilot, sorry. Come down here and flick this on to traffic lights and stop sign control. Okay, beta, by the way, beta. Okay, then it's not perfect. Flick that on. You have to be in park to do it, and you'll be able to have that on your profile. My wife got in and it wasn't working for her, and I said, well, you have to actually turn it on in your own profile, so make sure you go in and do that. But that's how. It's not just going to be on by naturally you have to actually make it do it yourself. And here's something else, guys. So I'm in autopilot right now, and obviously I'm you know, it's driving me. You see the blue lines there. It's tracking me through all of this. But you see that I'm going over this speed limit at 37 miles per hour. If you don't like being stuck at 35, all you have to do is put your foot on the accelerator, and it will take you faster without throwing you out of autopilot. It just won't do it without your foot on the accelerator. So they leave flexibility there for you to get in there and you know, really still work with it without having to move it around too much, or take it on and off, or you know, whatever. Because before you would just kind of, when I'm like, oh, I don't want to go this slow, I would just turn autopilot off, and then I realized you can just actually put your foot on the accelerator and just push it to the speed you want without it actually disengaging anything. And then you just let your foot off and you get back to right where you were. Look at that, picked up a pedal biker on the side of the road up there. Again, just more of it doing a better job picking up people. You see the gradual approach here, very unaggressive, how it takes off. That's something that has changed in some of the recent updates, where it doesn't just get after it at the same speed. It's slow, and then it goes up at a faster pace. So look at all these kids on bikes and stuff way out there that is going past. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go here, and I will see you guys on the next video.